Good morning. Cindy here in Central Texas, and it is a beautiful day. So I thought I would take you with me while I go through the gardens with my clippers and my recycle bag, and we are going to clean up and get these perennial plants ready for spring. There's a lot of dead that has browned out through the cold, and our 14-day forecast shows that we are going to have no more really cold nights. So I think I'm going to risk it and go in and trim everything back and get things tidied up around here. So follow along with me and let's see what's going on in the garden. So first things first, before you get started and you get too excited to get out here and start doing all this back-breaking labor after we haven't really been doing much for a while, is to do some stretches. So I did do quite a few stretches and bends and things to kind of get my back ready for this back breaking activity. It's not going to be that hard. I'm going to stop when I'm tired, which is a good thing. I have sprayed my clippers with some alcohol to get them somewhat sanitized. I've got on a lot of sunscreen. I've got my sunglasses, and I have a wide brimmed hat and my gloves. So I'm ready to get in here and get to work. So I'm out here at the part of my front yard that is closest to the street, and this whole section here is rocky, and I love it because there's no need to water out here. I do give these, this is purple trailing lantana, and I do give them a little bit of water, but these yuccas, they are xeriscape. They require no water. This is a yaupon, wonderful, wonderful shrub. Hardly uses any water at all. Very drought tolerant. So this has been a really nice addition to my front yard. I still have quite a bit of grass that we water, but and it is zoysia grass, so it is much more drought tolerant than Bermuda or St. Augustine. So I'm going to clean this out all the way across. I have about 6 of these, and then we'll move to the area around the front door. Okay, let's get as close as I can to the base of the plant. So I've moved over here to the front yard, and this is a salvia that has browned out on top but is just covered with new growth down below. And so I'm going to clean this up real quick and send a message to this plant to keep on growing. Just takes a minute to get all this dead off, and the plant is much prettier. I don't know if it's happier, but it's definitely prettier. Some of these just break off. That might be the best thing. Break them off where they want to break. And I'll sprinkle it with just a nice fertilizer, and organic. I love to use the Plant Tone by Espoma and give it a good watering, and we are set for a beautiful new flush of green to come out. Nice and clean. Looks really good. I'll also come back here with some more mulch around here. I have a drip irrigation hose right underneath. And I want to make sure that I have at least a 2 to 3 inch deep amount of mulch on top, because I want to keep that water underneath where the roots are and not evaporating into the air. So to wrap up the video, I thought I'd just go back and show you what we did. So I've cleaned up both of these areas in the rock garden by the street. This was trailing purple lantana, so it looks much better now. And these little rock formations are waiting for me to put the bougainvillea back in. The bougainvillea are still looking pretty sparse, so it'll be a while before they look gorgeous and are ready. So I cleaned up this area, and I cleaned up these two areas, and let's go to the front door. So I feel much better about this garden bed. I clipped all the dead off of all of the salvias, and now it's just, sun is getting kind of bad. Let me get over here. So you can see there's just the green left, and this will fill out really quickly, and it'll be much happier with all the brown cut off. There's one there, and there's one right there. So I think the garden is happy now. I thinned out these Shasta daisies. There was quite a bit of dead growth on there, so all the dead is gone. I planted these two new salvias. These were in my pots that were my really pretty wow pots by the front door, and I didn't want red anymore, so I just put them out here, and I think red will be just fine when they start blooming. It's really kind of an orangey red, but they'll look really good. And then my creeping phlox is starting to really fill out. The ajuga is filling out, and in another week these things will be covered with little purple flowers for the spring, so that's kind of fun. So I feel good about how I've cleaned up the garden here in the front. I did the same on the other side, and I'm ready for new growth, new spring things to pop up. Well, it's starting to get warm out here. The sun is coming up, so I'm going to call it a morning. And thank you so much for going along with me while I cleaned up all the dead stuff. And yeah, I am making way for spring, and it's starting to look really nice. We're going to have the 80s all week long. So spring is here, even though it's February the 20th here in Central Texas. So you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you get a chance to get in your garden today. Bye-bye.